Hey guys, I'm Bryce with Thorn Pest Solutions. We're here at the office this morning getting ready to run our route for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed getting a little sneak peek on what a normal day for us is like over here. Hey guys, so we're here at my first stop. This is a restaurant that we do on a weekly service. One of the biggest things they're dealing with right now is flies on the outside. So this is the product we're going to be using. It's called Max Force. The active ingredient in it is imidacloprid. Works really well, has a really fast knockdown. So one of the things that we also do for restaurants and apartment complexes for that matter is bait stations. This is going to help protect the building from mice. We check these every week and make sure that there's always fresh bait in them, and we document any activity in our handheld devices. Another device that we use for fly control are these fly bait stations. They hold Xyrox fly bait. Okay, so now we're headed off to my next appointment, obeying all traffic laws and going well under the speed limit. Okay, so we're at our second appointment for the day. The property we're at right now is a housing building. It's only got 12 units, but we're only here every other month. And so we go through each unit. Karen? We do some inspecting. We'll do some general pest treatments. This property in particular doesn't really have any issues that they're having right now, but that's the purpose of the inspection. We'll be looking in each unit, make sure that there's no roach infestations popping up, bed bug infestations, things of that nature, and a general pest treatment. It's really important to make sure that you do a quick little inspection in all of the units, just to make sure no roach infestations are cropping up. Glue boards will be your best friend because it will be here when we're not, and it will help us determine what kind of pests, how many pests are making their way through these areas. Okay, so today for our third appointment, we are here at another food processing facility. They specialize in doing concessions for big events like football games, basketball games, all that fun stuff. There's a lot of food in these warehouses, so that is what we're gonna be focusing on protecting. They have had some mice sightings coming in through the bay doors, so we're gonna be inspecting, figuring out areas we need to place additional traps. You want to get them in the areas where you know the mice are going to be, like in the cluttery areas. So this bait box, you can tell it's got some pretty heavy activity. You can tell that the mice have been gnawing on that quite a bit. The manager of this facility let us know that these containers are new for them. They've just been placed here and they've noticed mouse activity around them. So to help with that, we're gonna place one of these secured bait stations. Essentially, the mice run in there, they eat the bait, and then they run off and die. What we have right here is a pretty heavy foraging trail of odorous house ants. They're heavily attracted to anything sweet. We're going to be placing a sugar-based gel bait in their foraging paths. They'll gather the bait like they would any other food. They feed in a process called trophallaxis. Basically what that means is the foragers are going out, they're gathering all the food, they'll take that back to the colony and then regurgitate that up to feed all the other ants that aren't out foraging. They'll be taking this bait back to the colony and they'll be feeding this bait to the rest of the colony. If everything works perfectly, we'll eradicate the entire colony rather than just spraying and killing what you're seeing, because as soon as that spray wears off, they're going to be right back where they came from and probably in more numbers. I'm going to go through and do a liquid application for the Oriental roaches that we found earlier. Since there is food processing going on over there, we're gonna keep it isolated over to the side of the warehouse where there's not food being processed. We're just finishing up here at the food processing place. When you get to know your customers and when you're actually motivated to try and help them solve their issues, they notice that type of thing and they help us out. Like, they gave us a bunch of waters because they could tell we were out here hot and sweaty, and they could tell that we were doing our part to just help them take care of the mouse problem that they're having. And as long as you just show up to your appointments and you have a smile on your face, a customer can tell that you're just there to help them. They really do notice that, and it can benefit you in the end, like free water. Okay, so we're at our next appointment. This is a multifamily housing complex or apartment complex. What I like to do is I usually get the list, look it over, and then I take everything that I'm gonna need up with me. Pest control! One thing to keep in mind as a pest control technician is you're gonna run into a lot of interesting situations, whether it be noisy tenants or people bothering you. I got attacked by a cat today. That happened. So it's important to stay fluid, stay adaptable, and be able to problem solve when you're in this situation. Done with another one. We're off to our last appointment for the day. This last appointment is a little bit more of a serious issue. They've got bed bugs really, really bad.
The whole entire apartment complex is infested.
Oh no.
Everybody's throwing their mattresses out.
They're everywhere, in the floor, on the curtains, around the windows. Little tiny white things.
Yeah?
Those are eggs.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, their eggs are very, very small. It was a really, really bad infestation. We're actually heat treating that unit a little down the road. One thing that the mother was trying to do was self-treating. She was using baking soda, which does nothing really to the bed bugs. She had one of the whole beds saran wrapped, totally saran wrapped, so that it was like airtight, sealed.
So we saran wrapped her bed.
Oh yeah, that's a first. The self-treatment exacerbates the problem, basically, where it will spread to different units, or it will push them in areas where they're not normally going to be harboring, like up in the curtains, which we did see a lot of, and it can make the treatments harder for us technicians when we're trying to go in there and find all those bugs. Okay, so that basically concludes an average day for a Thorn Pest Control technician. It's busy. If you just really focus on just trying to help people, look at that as your job, is to help people feel more comfortable living in their houses, even if there's bed bugs in there. Educating them about different pests and the things that they're dealing with. It really doesn't feel like work.